Hey guys, it is me, Tanya, founder of the TNG Designs Group Limited. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Now, today's video, we're going to be talking about what branding actually means. Because, yeah, I know I've been talking a lot about what it actually is, what it does, all this kind of stuff. But I want to make sure we get to the understanding, the true crux of what branding actually means. And the reason why I want to make sure that we do this is because it'll be the difference between you actually really getting to grips as to why you need to be doing all the things I've been talking about in my previous videos. And it will be the difference between you making sure that not only do you get what branding actually means, but you get to go ahead and shine within your businesses, go ahead and actually stand out within your businesses and get noticed to the best of your abilities by making sure you tap into the idea of what it actually means, especially when it comes to you and getting your brand awareness, your business awareness, your own personal awareness out there and sharing it with the masses. So folks, make sure you stick around to the very, very end, because as always, I've got a super cool gift to be able to share with you. And yeah, folks, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel, because I want to make sure as many people as possible get to understand the likes of branding, what it actually means for them, equally what it can actually do for them, their business and their awareness as well. So folks, without further ado, let's get stuck into this. So, okay, as I said, we're going to be talking about the idea of what branding actually means, okay? So when it comes to understanding this, we've got to go back to the basics. We've got to go back to the actual meaning of branding. And when we look at it, when we look at the old English term, it actually means the idea of burn, right? So especially within history with branding, it's all about, you having the metal iron that literally was used to mark cattle, all this kind of stuff to make sure that the cattle was always made aware of, to know which farmer it belonged to, right? The cattle belonged to. So in a sense, yeah, we're essentially burning the memory or burning memories, reputation, building on that, the idea of what we do within our audience's mind, right? And we do that by creating the awareness behind what it is that we do. Now, with this awareness, what branding actually means is about creating an identity. It's about creating a mark, and a mark that actually gets remembered, right? So by burning this mark in our audience's minds, we start building on our reputation. We start building on the awareness of who we are. And that all comes about with the idea of sharing your message, sharing why it is that you do what you do, and equally who you do it for. And more importantly, the purpose for why you're doing it, right? So it's all about creating a story. Branding means the idea of when you create this identity, somebody who sees it out and about, or somebody who sees your color, somebody who sees your font, or somebody who hears that message will always resonate back to where they actually heard it from, meaning you, right? So if you get your message, if you get your colors, your fonts, all of the form of your brand, the form of your logo, the form of everything that comes from you and your business and your personal brand, then you get to start setting your mark. You get to start setting and building a reputation, even more importantly, that gets remembered from beyond you actually having to showcase it or actually having to say it yourself, right? Now, it's a difference of thinking like, when I say to you, I'm loving it, when I say just do it, when I say to you any other really cool slogan that we know it is out there, you start getting triggers within your memory, right? I'm loving it, McDonald's. Just do it, Nike, right? So think about, what is your own phrase? What are your own colors? More importantly, when I say to you red and white, what typically comes to you? And I'll say, oh, I'm a bit thirsty. And there's a red and white drink that, what comes to you first, right? That idea of Coca-Cola is permanently branded in your mind, because we know Coca-Cola to have a red and white mark all the time, right? We know Coca-Cola to have red and white colors, because that's what really stands out to us, and that's what we see consistently. So branding helps you to create an identity that is consistently seen, that is consistently heard, that is consistently understood, and equally that is consistently remembered. So think about that, folks. What is your consistent factor, especially when it comes to your identity, especially when it comes to making sure that your brand, your business, your personal brand actually gets out there to the best possible kind of way so that it is understood, remembered, even more importantly, and has a reputation that constantly gets to others to understand what you're known for. What is that for yourself? I'm going to leave it there, but what I want to make sure that you are understanding, folks, especially from when you're watching this video, I want to make sure that you know that branding is for everybody. And yes, everybody has a brand. It just depends on what you decide to do with it. I typically talk about the idea of personal brands or the idea of business brands, and there is a difference. And I'll be sharing a couple of videos. I have an existing one already, but I'm going to go into a little bit more depth about the two specifically as well. So I've got a few other videos that will actually talk about a personal brand, and we'll talk about the business brand as well. So there is a difference between the two, okay? And it's understanding and making sure that you know what that difference is, especially when it comes to your brand identity. You've got to know who your audience is first and foremost. So figure out who they are and be super specific. Your identity, this mark that we're trying to burn into people's memories, right? The idea of branding will help to make sure that your business gets remembered. When your business gets remembered, that means more eyes on your business. That means more awareness about your business. That means more attention gets put onto your business. That means that you actually get seen as that expert that you actually know that you are, right? And when things happen more and more and more, well, that naturally flows onto your sales. That naturally flows onto the outcome as to how many people decide to they want to work with you, know you, because they like and trust you. So your branding will help you with all these particular factors. It will help you to grow. It will help you to make sure that you are getting the attention that you deserve on your business and not steered away from your business, because you've understood what your branding is, because you now know what branding means and actually means for you, your business, and the growth of your brand, even more importantly. And the same for your personal brand as well. So folks, once again, I'm going to leave it there. Please make sure that you go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. Share this video with somebody else that you think could really, really benefit from it as well. And more importantly, folks, here it is, my gift from me to you. It is my guide. Now, within this particular guide, this is essentially like a checklist to make sure that you're actually tapping into your branding, right? To make sure that you're actually tapping into the assets that you already have. Understanding what your logo's going to be looking like, understanding what your values, your vision, your purpose are, all these kind of amazing things that will help to boost the awareness of you and your brand. All because we're trying to make sure that you guys get and build on those better connections, and not just for the right here, right now. It's all about longevity. When you come to work with me, when you come across any of my videos, you always understand I am not about quick fixes. Yes, my videos help you to understand things a little bit more speedily than in comparison to others. However, the information that I share with you is always going to make sure that you understand that this is for the long haul, right? I work with others. I help to position things that actually position them for the long term, not for the short term. I'm all about the long-term game, and I always think ahead, and that's super important to be able to do, especially when it comes to branding. So that being said, folks, make sure you go ahead and tap into this particular guide. It will help you to understand how to make better connections. It'll help you to understand how to make sure that you are reaching out to the right kind of people, especially the ones that you actually want to work with. And you can actually push people away. That is a thing. And yes, it is okay. So folks, go ahead and tap into this guide. Understand how you can actually boost the awareness of your brand so you can actually increase the growth of your business as well. Folks, I will speak to you soon, and I'll see you on the other side.